I'm Asia Dawson.
I'm Ernest Collins.
Hello, I'm Mr. Bouvier.
I'm Riley Knox.
Hi, I'm Alvin King, and this is We Speak. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of We Speak. Tonight's show is all about I Speak. Our panels and the panel members and myself, we're going to throw topics on the table and share them with you straight from the horse's mouth. So, who wants to open up tonight with our first I Speak? Anybody?
I'm going to go first.
You're going to go first? Okay. Asia!
So, my I Speak, I'm going to get slightly on my soapbox. How social media can be a blessing and a curse. Okay. And it started off innocent enough, but as progressively, as the old folks say, every generation gets worse and worse and worse. And so I was on Facebook, and I typically never get on Facebook. And I saw this father talking, and then his son was in the background, bloodied and crying. About a teenage son at that, bloodied and crying. And what happened was that he beat his son, and he videotaped it. So they showed him boxing his son, like whooping him, like beating him really, really hard and bad, to where, because he did bad in school. And so the little boy tried to defend himself, but it's his dad, and he's a huge guy. And his nose was broken, and it was just a horrific thing. And he thought he was going to get Dad of the Year award because I showed my son, you don't misbehave in school. And you're also shaming him. You're showing his face on Facebook, where all his friends are.
As he beats him up.
Right,
As he beat him.
He's being a bully, is basically what he's doing.
And so at the end, because he thought he got all these millions of hits, so he's on World Star getting all this recognition. No, he got shamed. And he got all these threats, and he got people talking about him, and he started feeling bad. And I think ultimately he got charged. If he didn't get charged, the people investigated. And so my thing is, why put that on social media where you sit there and you shame your child like that, a teenage boy, young black boy. They already have enough negative things coming at them anyway, and then you shame him like that. What happened to the love? What happened to speaking to him and educating him properly? I'm all for disciplining children, I am, but there's a right and a wrong way to discipline. And where's and then you wonder why young black men or boys grow to be angry black men, because they didn't receive the love and nurturing and affection from their parents. That little boy doesn't know now not to behave in school. He knows when he gets angry, something doesn't go his way, he uses his fists, and he uses shame, and he uses belittling. And like I said before, every generation gets worse and worse and worse until the cycle gets broken. And so I just pray for that little boy. Like, it really broke my heart. It did.
I think, I don't know if it's the same video. I have seen a video that reminded me of what you were saying. And so I agree with you. I'm not a parent. But I will say that everyone who is a parent, what am I trying to say? Everyone who has a child is not a parent.
Correct.
And so I'm gonna put that out there because parenting is disciplining your child is one thing, but the way you do it, like you said, and social media has created a platform for people to put any and everything out there just to get attention. So, wow, no, I can't even.
I think the great thing is you said that he's going to be charged. And it's like they're having to set new laws because of social media, because a lot of the laws didn't support social media because it didn't exist. And I think that's great. I think you do things and you think that you can just put them out there. You can put them out there, but there's a consequence for things like
Absolutely.
that.
Because they're even charging people who videotape and post these fights.
Right.
Good,
So if
as
they
they
can
should.
identify you with your
Right.
camera, if they can identify who's in the fight, they're being charged as well. But
As
you
they
know,
should.
but people are just still doing it. It's like
Right.
I
it's
just
very
saw a
sad.
clip this week in D.C. A young girl, 14 years old, was beat up by 4 or 5 girls at her school, a school here in D.C. called McKinley, not McKinley Tech, but McKinley Middle School. And Channel 4 interviewed the little girl, and I was watching to see what her reaction would be to this. And the little girl was pretty much, he asked her, was she afraid to go back to school? She said no. He said, well, what do you do if you're going back to school? She said, well, if one of them come to me again, I'm going to fight again. And I thought, wow. And they interviewed her father as well. And her father, he's been sending, writing the council, what do you call it, the city council, and writing the school and all that, trying to stop it. And a lot of the fights are starting because she's a very quiet girl, they think. And she doesn't like to hang out with other people, so they're attacking her on that front. Because she's a, you know, what do you call it, a loner.
A loner.
She's a loner, right.
Well, back to your story. Okay, so I think that maybe that father did that trying to discipline his child, and maybe that's his way of trying to, because to raise a man in this day and age is not easy. A boy to a man is not easy. So my question is, what do you think could have been done differently? I mean, in his mindset, maybe that's all he knows. I'm not defending him, but I'm just saying, working in the public school system and knowing how children are totally different. But when you have a behavior problem, how do you correct it if punishment doesn't work? I mean, my thing is, what type of progressive discipline do you think would be necessary in a case like that?
I think the first thing is don't put it on video.
Number one.
Yeah.
Number one. Like
Number
that
one.
right
Like
there.
That's a form of
things
shame.
wrong.
That's
Yeah. And that creates something inside of someone, and it's shame, and they carry it for years. And
Shame
into
never
adulthood.
creates change.
Exactly.
Oh, I agree.
good.
I agree.
Exactly. So that's the first thing. Don't videotape it. So if your son is having behavioral problems in the school, there's plenty of resources that the schools have. That's one option. The other option is talk to your child and see what's really going on. I think a lot of parents, they don't have time. For whatever reason, they're working a lot. They're trying to pay bills. They're trying to feed their kids. They're trying to clothe their children. So they're working because jobs aren't paying what they used to pay. Taxes are eating everybody's paychecks up. I get that. So they don't really have time. So they're putting in part-time work as parents as much as they can. And it's to no fault of their own. So it's just taking out that time. Instead of maybe going out with your friends, or just take a day off. Go out with your child, go out with your son, and just teach him what you know as a father or whatever. But the thing is, it's like getting to know your child, and they're people. And I think a lot of parents don't understand that your kids are little people. Sometimes they don't understand that. So how you want to be spoken to and taught is how you should do the same thing to your child. So yeah, he may have had issues in school, and maybe he's not listening, but there's something behind it. Is he getting ignored at home? Is he being bullied?
Defense, right.
So
But in this father's
I don't
defense,
know.
real quick, maybe that's all he knows. Maybe his father did that
I
to
agree.
him.
That's-
And he's
I
doing that, so
agree.
maybe
That's
that's
usually
the
the
only
case.
way
But that's
he
not a
knows.
defense.
At
though.
some point, you
That's
have
not-
to
Break the cycle.
And it doesn't make it right.
Break the
It
cycle.
doesn't make it right.
Kanye West, oh man.
This is gonna be delicious, I can tell you that much.
Oh,
Big one. Oh, stop it. And there you go.
Excuse me, where's my plate?
You don't get a plate.
Why not?
It doesn't matter.
My plate matters.
hey, all plates matter.
Oh, yeah, of course they do. I'm just saying, where's my plate?
Are you saying your plate matters more than mine?
Yeah, my plate matters too.
Okay, but you all have your plates and I don't have mine. So what's the problem with what I'm saying? And you know what? I didn't get the right drink either. I asked for a cup of just ice. You gave me just air.
Who the hell orders just ice?
I like the way it tastes when it melts.
So you want water?
No, I want a cup of just ice.
What do you
You don't get justice. Just ice.
Well, if I don't get just ice, you don't get a tip. No just ice, no tip. No just ice, no tip. No just ice, no tip.
Hey, you don't get to deny the waiter his tip. You don't know what he has to go through with these customers.
He won't give me my plate.
Man, you don't understand the poor man's situation and his side of the story.
Everyone saw him deny me my plate in just ice.
I didn't say that.
didn't see that either, man.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you have a history of not tipping, so maybe you didn't deserve the just ice.
Really? You gonna go there?
Okay, you know what? Let's just ask the waiter why he didn't bring the plate and a cup of just ice.
Well, he was looking at the menu for a suspiciously long time.
I was ordering food.
And he tried to reach for one of the straws on my belt.
I needed a straw. Give me the straw.
Jesus, Thomas! What's wrong with you, man?
It's enough of that.
I just chill.
Can I get you guys anything else?
No justice, no tip. No justice, no tip.
Well, what do you think about, okay, in the scheme of all this, Facebook is actually posting these type of videos.
Right.
Why do you think Facebook is allowing this to happen? How about if Facebook decided not to post these kind of videos and screen them and not show them?
That's a good
That
idea.
a lot of that could probably this could change.
That's
So
true.
that's something to help break the cycle. You know, people are going to be people and do what people do, but Facebook, are they making money from these
They're
kind of things?
perpetuating the issue.
Yeah,
They're
are they
perpetuating
making money from it? You know,
I don't know if there's a way for them to streamline. They would have to stop all videos. You know, I don't know if there's a way for them to streamline certain videos. I don't know if they have a department that goes through and scan certain things to see what's inappropriate. But I mean, I think that they should think about doing something like that.
I know Facebook does remove things that are very explicit because
do.
Tony, our producer, has sent me something and said, Alvin, look at this. Maybe we want to talk about this on the show. And it was someone getting their full face blown off on Facebook. And before I could look at it, I think I saw it once. And I was like, cringe. And then I went back to look at it again. It was gone.
But it may have something to do with the wording. I think they can catch it better if you type certain words. I don't know if they can catch it if you do content. You know, because some IT departments, they can block certain words. So if you type in a certain thing with that subject, it'll block it or it'll flag something. So I don't, you know, maybe that video had something typed into it.
I'm gonna stay right here because some items before they get posted, they don't get posted immediately. They get screened. There's a screening process because there's some pictures you'll post and they don't automatically jump on Facebook. Now maybe, you know, a picture of yourself or something, but they're like video clips. They don't automatically put those on Facebook sometimes.
Right.
And so I know that
but then sometimes you look on Facebook and you see straight up porn.
Right, they're
Right.
private.
Well,
See, they're private groups on Facebook.
Right.
There's an underground Facebook. I heard.
All right, Mark Zuckerberg. Okay,
You heard.
underground.
And
Oh, you
there's
heard.
everything under the sun in a lot of different private groups. That's why I said I don't think they have a process. There's a way to do whatever you want to do.
Right.
And there are things on Facebook that a lot of people don't know that are on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
They're just in private groups.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Wow, that was I like that. Thank you. Anybody else got an I Speak you want to throw out?
Well, since we're talking about kids, my favorite subject, not. I saw today that a 70-year-old woman had her first child.
What?
I read
What do you
that.
mean? Huh?
She gave birth to her first child.
A
70
vaginal
years
birth?
old. Well, I didn't go with her to the
No,
doctor.
no, I'm just saying,
yeah,
like-
she did.
Versus a C-section? A
Yeah.
C-section?
See,
Because
I didn't read
I'm sorry.
that.
But she had it.
She carried
She
it.
carried
she had
the
it.
baby
and her
in her
husband is
womb.
79 years old.
I have a question. So she carried the baby in her womb.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are y'all acting like this is crazy? Because here's the thing. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
It's very unfortunate.
Here's
that-
the thing. Everyone's body's different,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And just because, you know, universally most people don't get pregnant at the age doesn't mean that it can't happen. There are people that have full periods while they're pregnant. There are people that
I
have full
agree,
periods
yes.
at like
I
70
get
years
that.
old and
I
can still have a
get
baby.
that.
Just because, yes, it is an exception, and the rule is normally
Right,
that you
that is
stop
an-
having babies around like 40 years old.
Right.
But yeah.
But when you
it's-
couple it with her husband, it's 79.
well, you can always.
Well, you
you'll
know what?
always
God
be able
bless
to-
him.
yeah.
God bless
God bless
him.
both
Okay,
of them.
And they've been
because
married
ain't nobody
for
shooting
50
blanks.
Be
years.
happy that these people are still having sex.
Right,
They're not in
exactly.
a sexless
Exactly,
marriage.
yeah.
Sex, but
That
not
too,
babies.
I get that. But
Well-
do you know that trauma
Well, they
your
probably
body
didn't think it was
goes
going to happen, so
through?
why use protection? She wasn't on birth control.
So
when
what
he
have
was
you been
born.
doing for 50 years? They were married for 50 years, and this is their first child. Like, what have you been
An
doing
egg
for
slipped
50
through.
years?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm so happy you said that because that brings me to my I Speak, which is really more of a told you so.
I know it's coming.
This
I
is
know
where
it's
we
coming.
separate.
I know where it's coming.
We're no longer joined at the hip.
We are no longer joined. If I know
it's coming.
where
The
we're
last
going.
time we were doing a I Speak on We Speak, we talked about Janet Jackson.
We did.
And we talked about her doing in vitro. And what did I say? She's pregnant already.
She's pregnant already. You did say that.
And we went back and forth, and then you're like, well, this is not the time, and all this stuff. And I said, the girl's pregnant already. And it just happened.
That's
so
true.
my I Speak is I told you so.
Oh, Lord.
I told all of you so.
I haven't seen any pictures. I haven't seen what's
and you probably won't. You just
ultrasound.
You may just see her in big baggy clothes hiding some.
Well, that was the whole tour.
Anyway.
Oh, and by the way, and while we're talking about celebrities having babies, Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes had a baby, and nobody even knew she was pregnant.
Right. I didn't know that.
That's how you do it right. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Wait a minute. So
everything.
Recently,
she did she had it in April 30th, I think.
No one knew.
Nobody even knew she was pregnant, and it's so funny because just the other day they saw her out and they said, "Is she pregnant?" Because she has this big bag. She had already had the baby, but they were trying to speculate, and they didn't even announce it. What happened is TMZ broke the story because they had the people that pull records for them down at the courthouse, and they're like, we have a birth certificate here that says that this baby's name and the parents are Eva Mendes and Ryan Gosling.
TMZ breaks every story. I believe everything. TMZ is the mafia.
Whatever
they say, I believe.
I believe everything.
I didn't know they were like that.
They're so credible.
Don't worry. 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft. To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60. Now I get it.
Welcome home, man.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. The pressure's too much. I quit. I get it. I can do better. Just please don't leave.
Don't let your heart quit on you. Get your uncontrolled high blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late.
This is probably one of my ICs, but since we were talking about children, I was at a restaurant last week, and a woman came in, a family came in, and two women were eating, and this was like, it wasn't, it was a regular restaurant where you wouldn't expect this to happen, but the two women who were sitting at a table looked over and saw the couple come through, and they started laughing because the baby was unattractive.
What?
Okay. I'm
sorry.
And I sat there and I watched the whole thing play out, and I thought, there are unattractive kids.
They're hard to find, but they're out there.
Hard to find?
Are. I mean, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So their parent, the baby's parents think that's the cutest baby in the world. That's all that matters. It's going to be loved.
All children are precious.
They ain't got to be cute though.
Well, but is it a bad? Is it a bad? Is it a bad thing? Is it a bad thing to say, "Woo, that baby is not cute"?
No, what you say is, "Oh my God, look at the baby!
Is it bad to say
Look
that?
at the baby! Look at her cute little shirt! This is so cute."
Is that taboo?
Isn't she precious?
Well, to take it off of you and off the baby, just say, well, who does he or she look like?
I would never say anything. No, because let me tell you something. If you have an ugly baby,
talk about that person.
no, if you have an ugly baby, you know you have an ugly baby. Just because you
That's
think
not
your baby's
true.
cute. No, I think parents with ugly babies know their baby is a little unattractive.
You think so?
You know your baby's not attractive.
I think.
And you seen babies that look like old men,
Yes.
but then
You
they
know
grow up to
why?
be gorgeous.
You know
They
why?
might grow up to be
because the dad
swans,
was
but-
old or the mom was old when they had the baby.
79
old people,
years
Oh,
old.
no.
big old babies.
No, I'm gonna
big
tell you. I've
babies.
seen some young couples. I've seen some young couples with some not so attractive kids.
Right. They look old though.
But
But
no, they.
I would not
They
comment
weren't
on
attractive.
how
Okay,
the
they
baby
weren't
looks
attractive.
at all
Okay,
unless the
but
baby was gorgeous.
Is that taboo?
I would say
And
I'm
why
not
is
saying
it?
that
And
baby's
why
so
is it
bad.
if it is? Why? Like why? The baby's not God.
It's
I mean, it's a
taboo. It's just a
baby.
little
Yes, but no
rude.
one
It's
wants to
mean.
hear
It's
that their baby
mean.
Okay.
is so
It's
mean.
mean.
No, it was one of those things I just wanted to bring up
If you saw an
because
unattractive person, you wouldn't say they would just go up to them and say, you know, you're really ugly.
But they didn't
So
say
why
the
say
baby
to the
either.
baby?
The baby just they chuckled, but the baby walked past.
I
That's mean.
I
That
wouldn't
is
tell
mean.
anybody
Well-
that they're unattractive.
Who
but
laughs at the baby?
I don't
You
think I
just
would
said
do
that baby's not cute, but who laughed?
But look at
Was it that bad?
Look
It
at
just made me think about
the trouble that 50 Cent got himself into
Yes.
when he was in the airport
Right.
making fun of the guy who was working at the airport. I
that's-
mean, he didn't call him ugly,
that's
but he
taboo.
was assuming that he was high and he was like, just out of his mind. And the guy actually had autism.
Yes.
Yep.
He was
And,
autistic.
and he
Made fun of him.
on video and posted it. And I think that was horrible.
Listen, the new generation is crazy. They're crazy. What's your name? Look at him. Look at the. What kind of shit you think he took before he got to work today? He high as a motherfucker right here in the airport. Pupils dilated, everything looking like the. The new generation is fucking crazy.
That was
So sometimes
horrendous.
when we see these moments and we have these children that you may consider not attractive, it may be a certain situation where their features aren't the best because of the way they were born.
Well, back to 50 Cent. I'm sorry. Let's talk about that because no, he berated that guy.
It was bad.
He
He followed
him.
him.
It was so
with
sad
his
to watch.
camera.
It was so
they didn't
sad.
follow the baby. The baby walked past. It was like, not a cute baby. That was it. It was the parents didn't know. 50 Cent was in this man's face at his job, berating him. Like, I
Saying,
was so
look
angry.
at what's wrong with our generation.
And the boy wasn't even responding. He's a bully. 50 Cent's a
Right.
bully.
Yeah.
The man wasn't even responding. He was sitting there. He not. I
It was
saw
really
it.
sad.
Shaking, going like this, switching trash can, doing his job.
And he's like, he's so out of his pupils are dilated and all this stuff, and the guy has a condition that also,
Right.
in addition
And
to
you
that.
are following
but even
him.
if let's take the autism off the table. Even if he wasn't autistic,
Thank you.
even if the guy
He's
was
at work.
drunk and
Thank
high
you.
at work,
Thank you. Who
Why
are
is
you?
it your place to
Thank
just
you.
go and videotape someone? You're invading their space,
Thank
and
you.
you're like trying to out them.
Right.
That's not good.
You're a
I
bad
agree.
representation
You're a bully.
of your generation,
You're
which
a-
is
And
too
he
old to be
videotaped
doing
that.
something like that.
apologized.
That's
And
he
some
should-
things you apologize.
he
You
should
already
have been
did it.
sued.
Well,
You
why
already
do
did
it?
it.
But it's done.
You apologize because the kid had autism.
He apologized because
You didn't apologize because what you did was wrong.
Because every time I heard that, the first thing that came to my mind is one of my favorite joking commercials, I'm Perfect for the Job.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I've seen that.
That is so cute. I think that commercial
is so wrong.
I like that
I love
commercial.
that
Yeah.
commercial.
I love that
Say what?
commercial.
What?
You don't think they're
I love
perfect for the
this
job?
Everybody's not perfect for a job.
Well, but
Sarcastically, the first thing I think is you're not driving me anywhere, so you're not perfect for the job.
well, but first of all, they didn't say what job they
They're
were
perfect
perfect
for a
for.
job.
So
They
I'm
perfect
in a job
for. They
and they're not
perfect.
for it.
But they.
What are we talking about, first of all?
It's
Yeah.
a commercial.
Please
It's
let
a
her know.
commercial that.
Is it Melwood?
It's
Yes.
Melwood.
It is
Yes,
Melwood.
Melwood. And you have different people who like we say. Like we introduce our show. Hi, it's like the person says, hi, I'm perfect for the job. And they are handicapped.
Special
or
So what they
special
say,
needs.
hey, my name is Amy and I have a learning disability and I'm perfect
And
for
I'm
the
perfect
job.
for the job.
Or hi, my name is Sam and one guy said I have 5,000 pins in my legs and I'm perfect for the job. The one guy was deaf.
He's trying to get people to
didn't
stop
know what job he's
discriminating.
looking for.
From,
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I love
and,
the
and
commercial.
I love it. I
I
loved
really
it
love that
because you want to know why I
commercial.
love it? Because you are perfect for the job. There's
Yes.
nothing wrong with you.
And they're
You are
probably going to work
perfect like
harder
everybody
than
else.
someone else who
somebody
thinks
else,
that they're
yeah.
perfect for the job.
Yes.
But Ernest, your point is you don't
I'm
know what
sorry.
job they're perfect for, and you
I need to know what
you
job
want them to
they're perfect
redo the commercial and show the job that they're perfect for. Is that what you're saying? Okay, okay. I just want to make sure
I'm
that
going
I
into
I
I'm going
can't
into
say
prayer
what
right
job.
now. That's my
I just want to make sure I knew what you were going to say.
Pray.
I have a whole lot. But Juan, back to you, since we are the 79-year-old thing. This is why I think that that's a bad idea. Kids are cruel, especially now. I think about elementary when I was at back to school night, and my parents came, and I remember me and my best friend were sitting at the table when somebody's father walked in, and he had gray hair and all this other stuff. And the first thing we said, "Oh, dang, whose grandfather is that?" Well, the guy in front of it happened to be his father. And we all just laughed and laughed and laughed. I think it's a disservice.
Kids are cruel.
I think
Kids are
cruel, and they're going to say this. They're not really knowing, but it's really not fair.
Well,
It's
chances
just-
are
it's
they're
such
not
a
going to see
disservice
them
to the
out on the
child.
football field. They're not going to see them playing soccer. I mean, there's and you know what? In some way, I take that back because I just came back from the Penn Relay and I saw a 100-year-old woman run the 100 meters
and do push-ups
and did it and did it. So
if your parents, you're what, 8 years old, 9 years old, in this PTA meeting, and your parents roll in a wheelchair, hypothetically speaking, they come in a wheelchair and everybody's calling this your great whatevers, and it's your parents. How do you feel?
it's my parents.
That's my parents.
It's my
Yeah,
parents.
I don't care
I
how you
really
feel.
don't.
Right.
I mean,
Your parents are probably not here at the PTA
yeah,
meeting.
I'm not even right. Right. You here with Uncle Buff.
Right.
Because your parents at home. So I wouldn't be ashamed, but I do. Like you said, kids are cruel.
They are.
That's that. So to have a 70-year-old mother, when you get 5, she's 76 or 75.
And by the time you graduate from high school, she may
not be around.
But the new 70 is,
Is 70.
Right.
No, because the new 70 could look 60 or a 50.
Not if your grandma
So,
just Tina
you know what I'm
Turner.
saying? So I mean, it really bears on how your genes are. That's another whole talk show. Probably. Okay, that's another whole talk show.
Well, since we're talking about parenting, I recently went home to Richmond, Virginia, and I took my niece to her 8th grade prom. And I was so disturbed that after I picked her up from the prom, she instructed me she wanted to go out to eat. So I said, okay, you can go out, I'll take you out to eat. But when I picked her up, there were like extra kids to fit in my car. And I'm like, where are these kids going to sit? And so, I didn't want to make her look bad because she had already told them that they could go with me. But the whole time, like, smoke is coming from my head because they're all sitting on each other's laps. And I'm just like,
You taking them out to eat?
feel me. I'm taking them, transporting them
I'll say, oh, okay.
to the place to eat.
You were the chauffeur.
But what? Yeah, she wanted me to take her, whatever.
Oh, you're such a good uncle.
But what bothered me was the prom ended at 9, and all the parents were instructed to be there to pick their kids up at 9. None of those kids that got in my car, parents were there. None of them spoke to me. None of them knew me from a can of paint. But their children were in my car going somewhere, and here we are, we're at the restaurant. It's 11 o'clock. None of those parents had even called to see, where is my 14 and 15-year-old child?
Oh, wow,
and I got so disturbed, I had to go sit in the car.
Wait, who
my
was
mom
going to the prom at 14 years old?
It's an 8th grade prom.
Oh.
Right. So my mom was with me, and I told Mom, I got to sit in the car because it was just bothering me. And then one girl, she was using a phone to call someone to pick her up. And I don't know what her mother told her, but she turned around and asked the waitress, what time do you get off work? And the waitress was like, 1. She's like, you think you could take me home?
She knew the waitress?
I don't know, but it was just odd.
Wow.
I didn't take her home. It was another reason why I didn't take her home. She had a potty mouth, and I wasn't putting her back in my car. But it just bothered me that none of those parents just knew where their children were, and they didn't call. It bothered me.
Wow.
So how did the little girl get home?
I think my niece said that her parents eventually came to pick her up. But yeah.
I'm disturbed by a 14-year-old little girl by herself.
By herself?
And asking a stranger to take her home.
Right.
Well, and like you said, a good point. No one asked you your name. No one introduced themselves to you. No one did any of the sort. And as a parent, you put your child in a position, right there. Now, I know you're a wonderful person who would never do that. But
they didn't know that.
I know.
I said they didn't know that. I said they didn't know that.
That's my point. They didn't know that. But if some child decides to say, Damon did whatever to me.
Right.
Yep. The parents are going to go buck wild, and you are accused of it. And they didn't put one foot forward to see where their child. And that really pisses me off.
That really bothered me.
Wow. That's crazy.
Say you want a bad girl, something better than you past.
These men will most likely not be president, but they showed us that we have common interests, we have common grievances, and in numbers we are powerful. We threaten the establishment of both parties with righteous indignation, and if we don't continue the conversation, the media will end it for us. Obama should have been a great awakening for the American people. It's not enough to participate in heavily choreographed elections every 4 years. The parties that you're in many cases required to join to even participate in democracy don't have your best interests in mind anymore. And we know that now for a fact, Republicans and Democrats. The financial institutions we bailed out are bigger than they were before they crashed the world's economy. Our foreign policy and our trade deals make us less safe. They restrict our civil rights, wreck our environment, and repress the people of other countries while making a handful of oligarchs rich. It is class warfare, and first class is winning. But we're connected now. The secrets are slipping, consciousness is rising, and business as usual is over. If you stand for justice and truth, don't just do it from behind a computer screen. Get out into the streets when necessary. Vote out your representatives. Run for fucking Congress. When Bernie Sanders says we need a political revolution, we take it with a grain of salt because it's being broadcast on CNN, but that's it. That's what we need to solve our problems, not a president. And we know that, right? But we continue to voice our complicity through our inaction. If you're angry, you should be. And if you want change, you gotta fight for it. But let's fight together. Our lives depend on it. And don't give way to cynicism because this is just the beginning. And don't expect salvation from those who seek to divide us because we can only find it within each other. We're connected. We're awake now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of We. What are we doing? We opening the show?
As soon as he gets up that long. You good?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Really? That's odd. Most August Leos are the same.
Well,
is she saved? Because I'm saved.
She's saved. Okay. She's saved, all right.
My masculine energy.
Yes.
What? As you sit like this?
Very. You know.
With velvet shoes on.
I saw that. I saw that.
You saw what?
You did this.
No, zoom in a little bit.
I think so.
Buster.
Let me know when you get back over there.
Hi.
I'm Asia Dawson.
Mike.
Oh, I have to compliment you on your swag. I was sitting in my car when you got out your car and walked to the studio. Your swag was pretty tight. It was tight.
He was walking like a dude?
I said his swag was tight.
That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. And he had his bag in his hand. And he didn't think nobody was looking. I was in the car talking to one of my friends.
Although I must admit that is how we met. Your swag.
No, because you're looking at my butt.
Yeah. Exactly. Your swag.
Yes, sir.
In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Are any of you? I know you said you just went home. Are you anybody from DC? Totally. Anybody from DC?
No.
Were you here in 2003?
Yes.
You were here.
Yes.
So you know about the Beltway sniper?
Yes.
I do know about the Beltway sniper.
So this incident that just happened last week, where the husband killed the wife over domestic violence, and then went to Aspen Hills Shopping Center and went on another spree. It was actually in the same place where the sniper of 2003 killed or started killing, or going on their killing spree. Right. That whole story has troubled me because one, this was an ex-cop. He was an ex-cop. His wife did all the right things by reporting everything about the domestic violence, everything right, and they took his gun. He was able to buy another gun because the authorities who he worked for felt like, well, he's never been in any other, any trouble before. We're gonna take his gun because he hit his wife. We don't want that. But the thought of him going out to get another gun, the whole system. I think at that point where she went to the police and did all the right things, to him getting another gun, there's something broke in the system. There's something broke.
It's been broken for a very long time.
Did you know that the number one abusers are cops and firefighters? And did you know that the reason why?
I don't.
I dated a lot of cops.
I would,
the reason why is because they can get away with it, and it's almost, you want to say they're above the law, but it's almost like they're above the law.
Yeah, I've actually heard that too.
Yeah, they're the number one abusers are.
There was a sheriff in
domestic violence
was
cases.
it Maryland, like a couple of weeks ago, almost a month ago,
Yeah.
that domestic violence with his wife. She called 911 and said, please come get him, and he did. And he was at work the next day doing administrative duty. And then they still were.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And
she
the wives
called,
are normally
She called
scared.
back.
She
and
wanted to
said
drop
she
the
changed her
charges.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
wonder
I think
why.
they still fired him though.
But they had to file the 911 call that she made to him, and they rested on that. On the 911 call, despite her retracting that he hit her or whatever.
Right.
abused her, yeah. So
the wives are normally scared because they know
Yes.
their husbands are going to get away with it.
Exactly.
And that their buddies, their cop buddies, will protect them.
Absolutely.
So normally they don't say anything.
I need to do some research into that. I didn't know that cops were, at the.
Yep.
Yeah.
And firefighters, they get away with it like that.
I didn't know that.
It's like speeding tickets.
Well, it just that whole incident. I've truly been praying for the family because that was a whole 3 days. Well, first he killed his wife on a Friday, and then he killed the other people on a. Was that was it the same day?
No, it was a Thursday and a Friday.
It was Thursday and a Friday.
Yeah.
He
Thursday
killed
and
the
Friday,
people.
Thursday
That
and
was
Friday,
actually
right,
at
okay.
the FDA work.
Right. Okay. Thursday and Friday. So unfortunate. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It made me think about the when the sniper was going through DC, and for those of you who don't live here,
And I was scared to get
believe me,
gas.
I didn't want to get
Everybody
gas.
was.
I didn't want to walk my dog.
I know, but it's so funny they
It
call
just-
him the DC sniper and he was never in DC.
Oh yes, he was
He
on
did.
Eastern
He was?
Avenue.
A couple
Eastern,
people did.
Oh, he was?
Eastern Avenue.
From I think it was like close to the border of Virginia.
Yeah, because you
Right
can't
over
just
to
get
DC.
in and out of DC all fast, like
But
trying on a
everybody in
high-speed
DC was
chase.
like, I wish he would come here.
Yeah, but they call him the
he did
DC
hit
sniper. He was really Virginia.
And I got
Maryland
lost
side.
coming from Dulles, and I ran out of gas, and I was so
Oh,
scared
no.
to go to the gas station. I was so scared.
And I'm like you. I've never really been hesitant or scared, but during that time, I found myself pumping gas, looking around.
Right, because they didn't know where the shots were coming from. It was
And
just
then remember, they
random.
were just like, well, it's a serial killer, so he definitely can't be a black man. He can't be a black man. And then they was like,
Isn't
no,
that
it's a
isn't
black
that
He's a black
crazy?
man. And he can shoot. He doesn't
I know,
miss.
that's what's
Right.
right. But here's the thing. I was a bus driver back then, and when they killed the bus driver, that hit me harder than anything.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
dang. How many times am I out on my phone, parked on the side, waiting before I pick my students up, talking on the phone? I mean, this guy was ruthless, didn't really care. He just did. So it was a scary time.
It was very
Right.
scary.
Well, as we talk about the sniper situation and Metro, it brings me to the incident where the teenager on Easter was with his mom and going to get his hair cut with his two sisters, and he got killed at the Metro station because the one kid didn't like the way he looked at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many times have you looked at somebody a certain way? Just look
Not
up
even thinking.
and you look at them and not even thinking that they're taking it like you're better than they are, or you're looking down on them,
Yeah.
or your stare is implying something that it's not.
And then some people just have mental issues where
Exactly.
Anything can
they thought that you
trigger-
looked at them,
Right.
Absolutely.
and it's just sort of like, that's not what happened.
Right.
Like they saw what they wanted to see. So.
But that's easy for
Absolutely.
me because I don't look at people.
I was about to say
You
the
said
same thing.
that,
I don't,
yeah.
I
And I'm
don't-
usually
I
just
don't look at
like,
people.
Focused on where
Got
I'm
that.
going.
So I
Anything
kinda
else
think
outside
like-
means nothing to me.
Only time I don't look at people is when I think that they're trying to come on to me and I don't want them to come on to me, and I won't look at them. That's my first line of defense. I'm not gonna
I
look
know
at
you're
you.
watching
I
me.
can
Right.
feel your energy. I know you watching me, and I'm pulling a Retta Divine on them in a
know
minute.
that's
I don't
right.
even.
I know
I don't even look at them. I'm looking all over the place. Yeah. So that's the only time I use that. I'm sorry. Okay.
I guess I need to stop then because I look at people.
Right.
I do. Like I don't gawk and I don't stare.
I do too,
But if
yeah.
I pass you,
Yeah.
I want to see who's passing me just in case I've always been like that. I just
Yeah.
want to know who's around me.
I look at you.
So if
Yeah.
I'm looking at you. Like you look in the eyes usually.
I
And
do
that's
too.
that. And I
If
probably
you're doing
shouldn't.
something that's
but I
like
do.
uncouth, I'm
But I
gonna
do that.
look like what, so.
I want to make sure I'm aware of my surroundings.
I want you to know that I know that what you're doing is very urban.
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 That's a
Urban.
nice way
When
of
you
carrying
want
it.
to break it down and not say ghetto, use urban.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To
not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us,
all of us
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
We've got a big problem, and we need your help.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent,
it's a crime. It's wrong.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility. It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
We may not always agree on everything,
but we can all agree on the importance of looking out for our families and friends.
and standing together in the fight against HIV. Everyone should get tested for HIV at least once as part of routine health care. Gay and bisexual men may benefit from more frequent HIV testing and should consider getting tested every 3 to 6 months.
Knowing your status and taking whatever next steps it requires makes you and our community
Stronger. HIV testing is free. Visit gettested.cdc.gov/stronger.
Look, I had a rough day at work. I don't need you hassling me about my smoking.
Hey, I just smoke when I'm out with my friends.
Yeah, cigarettes are expensive, but I work, I pay my bills, I can afford it. You know, you gotta die something. Might as well be cancer.
What are you passing along to your kids? Quit for yourself, for your family, for your legacy. For free help, call or go online.
Just a little cough. Nothing to worry about.
Well, and I don't know if you all have heard, but in Hong Kong, we're gonna go to Hong Kong. We're gonna
I'm not up on my Hong Kong.
We're gonna go to Hong Kong, but Kentucky Fried Chicken in Hong Kong has just released a new nail polish that tastes like chicken.
Listen, I would
Who
not
eats nail
use that.
polish?
Thank you.
No, who licks their fingers after eating chicken?
It is supposed to curb your appetite, but it's nail polish. So
you're gonna get cancer.
A couple of things are
Thank
happening
you.
here. Kentucky Fried Chicken now is selling nail polish.
That's number one. That's the first thing I thought.
And they're using chicken grease to do it.
Now, will they put the nail polish on for me in Hong Kong? I mean, we're in Hong Kong.
Well, the fact that it's in Hong Kong.
Excuse
me? How many people eat in Hong Kong? How many?
That's so mean.
Is there like obesity in HongOng that you're aware of?
No.
I don't know.
No.
But
so who's eating the chicken?
So who's eating?
Tourists. Tourists are
Yeah.
eating the chicken.
I'm
Tourists are.
thinking.
No, because you know there is some girl from the United States that's just like, this is the new latest thing. Honey, I got this nail polish that tastes like, you want to take But here's the other problem. Like, my nail polish is dry, right?
Right.
Thank you.
How do you get it to taste like that? Like, and it's not be wet? Like, I don't get it.
Not just wet, but the chemicals that make it nail polish.
Only-
it's polish. Listen to the
only in-
words.
Only in Hong
polish.
Kong.
Cancer.
Only
Cancer.
overseas can they do something like
And
that.
it's made to curb your appetite, or is it just a gimmick?
It gets you sick. That's
They
why you don't
say
want
it's
to
made
eat.
to curb your appetite. It's made to curb your appetite until somebody gets sick and all of a sudden
dies.
their tongue fall out.
Right.
Or they're walking down the street and their kidney decides to do something because they've eaten the chicken fingernail.
And could you imagine you shake somebody's hand and they're like, it smells like chicken.
It smells like
you smell that fried chicken? That's disgusting.
Smell chicken?
The last thing I want to do when I'm sitting here is
I know.
Wait till lunch.
no, I'm not even hungry anymore. It hurt my appetite.
She's been licking her fingers. She's not hungry. She's sick.
Right. And why fried chicken though? Why not like a piece of candy?
I'm not
That's
lying.
my alley.
I'm
Or
not-
pizza.
Or pizza.
Because that's up our alley.
It is definitely in the news. So if you haven't heard about it, look it up because I mean it's
Inventors are bored.
It's
Gotta be.
They're
It
bored.
is
They were
definitely
not-
But
making
you know
themselves
what?
right.
It's funny that you say in Hong Kong, they have, back on the Hong Kong theme, they're very genius over there. Do you remember a few years ago when they brought over here to the United States, I think it was in Hong Kong, Asia, the little fish giving you pedicures?
Yeah.
I was just telling my mom
And they were
about
eating
it.
on your heels?
I had it
Yes.
in February. I did
little
it.
fish.
Well,
I did
It eats
it.
the dead skin
fish.
off your feet.
I did it. Yep.
And it causes disease because they don't changing out the water properly at certain nail shops. And so you
You put your feet inside of the dirty.
Well, you can get fungus from the regular nail salon.
But you don't have any gnawing
so wait,
at
they're
your
supposed to
feet.
take the fish out of the water?
They got to clean the water
and
and
then
change the
water
sure
and put the fish back in?
Yeah.
And instead they just left the fish in there and everybody put their feet in there?
I got to tell you, it works.
Okay,
I
Alvin,
did
you got all your feet still?
I got all my feet, my toes, all
gangrene?
Downstairs in the dressing room. but no, I did it in February when I was on vacation, and I was a little afraid. I asked a woman who was getting it done, "Does it tickle?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." And so I did it, and
I saw Kim Kardashian doing
it. It ate all the dead skin off my feet. It did it.
So wait, these are dead fish?
No, they're alive.
They're alive. They're eating.
They're eating you. They're biting you. They're nibbling like this on your feet.
They're nibbling.
I'm with you.
They didn't come.
I don't want anything biting on me.
Gnawing on my skin.
Well,
did it hurt?
It did not.
It tickled.
You didn't think about a piranha or something?
I did not think about
just the
anything.
thought of something crawling on you and biting you.
And I just wanted to try it, and I tried it so I can say it works. Okay. So I can say.
So your feet more smooth now than with a regular pedicure?
It was in February.
You feel like you can walk in water?
It was in February. But we have reached the closing of the show, and we have to close. I don't like where this is going. So I'm just going to shut it down right now.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to wrap our show up. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, Mr. Demond. Okay. Thank you, Ernest, and thank you, Asia, for joining us tonight. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to sign out, and we'll see you again when next we speak. Have a good night.
Okay. That was perfect.
I was wondering, I'm like, that's not what he said at the elevator.
You want me to say that?
We freeze.
Oh.
We thank you for watching, and we ask you to join us when next
Who
we
turned
speak.
the AC
Tell me
on?
When next we speak.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for watching, and we ask you to join us again when next we speak. Have a good night.
I'm Tom.
That was good.
Close enough.
Bam! Kaput.
Who opened the freezer?
Thank you.
Baby, even I was freezing up in here in this turtleneck.
Usually,
It's the longest hour ever.
That's how you know it's cold. When I'm cold,
All I know, I want some chicken.
and I got a turtleneck on.
You got chicken at home waiting for you,
That's
right?
what I'm going home to get it.
Chicken.
It ain't on nail polish.
Just for you today.
I didn't even know what happened.